Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Marco's Pizza card reveal for Emerge 33, Beat the Heat, and Chris Lowe, Commissioner Chris Lowe. This may be our biggest card reveal yet.
Yeah, we've got some huge announcements. It's been a flurry of activity here at the Emerge offices, and one particular announcement. It's going to cater to the most rabid of the Emerge fans. Lurch, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. That's right. Right now, you can go to emergewrestling.pivotshare.com. You can check out Emerge 20 through Emerge 29 right now for $4.99 a month, folks. All you need is a credit card, $4.99 a month. You have access to 10 of the Emerge broadcasts right there.
And it's not only that, too. We're going to be adding more to it. There's going to be some vintage Emerge content. I believe there's going to be some content just for that platform. We've got a lot of different stuff in the works. We're going to have a video that's going to explain a little bit more coming up here in the next couple of days, so definitely be watching out for it. One thing that we do want to take care of before we get to any of the action is a little bit of housekeeping. Emerge 33 is called Beat the Heat, and that may be an ironic name. It was a little hot in the Parkside Gymnasium last month, and as a matter of fact, 1 year ago, our June show last year was pretty hot as well, and we've been hearing some concerns. Just so we all know, Chris, I understand there was an issue with the AC last month, but it has been fixed, so you certainly can beat the heat by being at this show.
It has been addressed.
So we just wanted to clear that up before anything even happened, to just let you know. We will be in an air-conditioned building with the best red-hot wrestling around anywhere. Situations that are red-hot, that's one place that we can go is the most red-hot situation in Emerge, and a situation that reared its ugly head yet again at Emerge 32 Mayhem, and we almost should have called this one Mayhem because the aftermath of Emerge 32 certainly has been, Chris.
Right, and if you've been watching Emerge's Facebook and social media pages, you'll know that Ricky Ruckus challenged Donnie Idol to meet him downtown the night of the show. We had both men banned from the building. Donnie showed up with camera crew to meet Ricky, but it was all a ruse.
Yeah, as it turns out, Red Rum had taken themselves to Parkside Elementary, and what happened during a match that was supposed to be a tag team match between Custom Made and TJ Kemp and Sean Kemp. Well, we learned earlier in the night, TJ and Sean, Cole and Radrick and Sean, rather, had been run off the road, and we didn't know exactly by whom, but it kind of seemed like Ricky Ruckus was the perpetrator by the end of it. He was very... In the ring, he all but told everybody that they were the ones that did it.
No, hang on. I was back there. I saw Ricky asking and making sure that they were all right. I heard him, making sure that everything was okay, and that's what I witnessed. I don't know what you're talking about there. I don't think Ruckus was behind this. I don't think Red Rum could have ran Cole Radrick and who else? Sean Kemp off the road. I don't think that could have happened.
Seriously, dude?
I love when it gets like this.
Impossible. It's not possible that Red Rum was at the building. Red Rum was at the building. So how could they be two places at once? See?
Well, some cars go fast.
Whatever. You all are just throwing them. You all are just trying to blame it on whoever.
Well, no matter who did it, when Ricky Ruckus got to the building, Donnie Idol was telling us a little bit later, he got flooded with phone calls and he didn't know where Ricky was, but the Emerge family certainly let him know. And during the end of that last intermission, things got a little bit heated. I know I was particularly angry because he made me run around the entire building, and my cardio is not in the best shape. But we do have a little bit of footage, backstage footage, that we've not yet shown, and here's what happened during that last unnaturally long intermission.
Where's Ricky Ruckus? Hey, you seen Ricky? Where'd he go? Come on! Where's Ricky? Where is he? Have you seen Ricky? Come on, man! This is bogus! Come on! Donnie? No! Hey, where is he? Where is he? Where is Ricky? Where is he? Come on!
You weren't supposed to be here. Ricky wasn't supposed to be here. I don't know why he's here. Quite frankly, I don't know why you're here. Come on, Donnie. Ahead! I'm running shows here and you guys are screwing shit up. I want you, you know what, I hate doing this. Guys, get him out. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, Donnie. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go, Donnie.
Well, that is the situation, and the situation couldn't be calmed down at the time.
Yeah, I need to apologize to the Emerge fans. That's not normally the way I like to handle business, and I certainly don't normally speak that way, but it was, as Casey said, a heated moment, and I just got frustrated between Donnie and Ricky, and they can't be jeopardizing Emerge shows, and I'm trying to get that point across.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anybody who can really blame you for this. I mean, we just want the shows to go off without incident, and since then, Lurch, there has been a flurry of activity among the offices. Memos are being handed out, which I'm sure we'll get to soon, but it's been crazy.
Oh, it's been busy. You can tell that Red Rum has created quite a stir. You saw how flustered Kamish was when all that went down at the clip we just watched. I mean, wow. I mean, things are heating up. I'm glad we're out to beat the heat this month, because things are heating up here at Emerge.
That is very true, and who knows what's going to happen with the Donnie Idol situation next at this point. I guess maybe we'll find out soon, Chris?
Yeah, I've got some interesting information to share a little later, along with a piece of video.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There's a...
It's not on your sheet, but we'll get to it.
Seriously?
Yeah. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Wow.
All right, well, one piece of video that we know is going to be here, is always going to be here. We love our sponsors. We love the people who make this show happen. And who doesn't love a good pizza? And we are fortunate enough to be sponsored by Marco's. Marco's has been absolutely fantastic. You, the Emerge family, our fans, you guys have been so great getting over to Marco's, telling them that Emerge sent you. Let's take a moment, as always, to hear from Marco's.
If you're in the mood for some great authentic Italian food at a fantastic price, try Marco's. Subs, wings, salads, and the best pizza around. 2 locations in Columbus at 2019 25th Street and 3532 West 2 Mile House Road. Along with daily hot deals, receive a free order of cheesy bread for signing up for Marco's E-Club. You can learn more at marcos.com. Marco's, the official pizza of Emerge.
Of course, we always thank Marco's for their support. We cannot bring this show to you without them. The world found out yesterday the big elephant in the room so far in this show. Let me explain it in case you haven't seen the announcement. Let me explain it in the same way I did there. Emerge has brought to you for 3 years Downtown Throwdown. It has been the biggest event of the summer. We have packed the streets of downtown Columbus. That being said, at the end of all of the hoopla last year surrounding Downtown Throwdown, nearly 1,300 of you packed that city block. And we came to the subtle realization that Emerge has outgrown a city block. At this point, we have to start looking toward the future, and our partner from last year, Chris, Q-Mix, came in clutch.
They came in big time. Of course, we all know about the Q-Mix musical fireworks. Columbus Regional Health presents it along with, and brought to you by Forcia and Right Way Fasteners. Well, as a part of that, before the fireworks, Emerge 34. Fireworks and fisticuffs takes place that very evening, beginning at 6 o'clock.
And it just doesn't have everything to do with the wrestling show.
Not at all.
Anybody who has been even within a mile of the airport while these fireworks are going on, you know it is a party atmosphere. If you want to be a part of the party, come to Harrison College. Come to the parking lot. There's going to be a free, F-R-E-E, that spells free, wrestling show, presented, of course, by Emerge. Bell time, 6 o'clock. Bring your lawn chairs. And not only that, there's going to be activities all day. We're talking bouncy house, face painting. After Emerge gets done, there's going to be a band that plays you right up to the fireworks. Tens of thousands of people milling about. Be sure to get there early. Bring your lawn chair. Get that front row seat. Because, Chris, I believe we have the biggest match that Emerge has ever seen. Lurch, what do you say we throw a match announcement on this?
Are you serious? And on top of a free show already. What is it?
It's the Red, White, and Bruise 30-man Battle Royal. The winner gets an Emerge title opportunity.
Wow.
And we're not just talking about any typical battle royal.
No.
We are talking about long form. 2 men start. At selected intervals, 1 man progressively enters. Only way to be eliminated is to be thrown over the top rope, both feet touching the concrete below. 30 men will enter one by one by one. And the last man standing in that ring, well, Chris, let them know what happens.
They get an Emerge title shot.
And you're doing this on a free show?
Absolutely.
On a free show.
Free. The biggest match that Emerge has ever had. The longest match Emerge has ever had. The most people Emerge has ever had in a match. Several new, we're already locking in talent. Several new debuting stars. A lot of surprises around the corner.
I'm very excited.
I'm very, very excited. But, Chris, we always like to throw in a couple wrinkles for Emerge. We set ourselves apart from anybody who is doing anything that's even similar to what we're doing. We take it to the next level.
Right.
So, what that means is that this match is going to be tweaked up just a hair. You see, Emerge prides itself on being the most loud, the most fast-paced, the most energetic show that you're going to find anywhere, and especially in front of a crowd of 10,000 people.
Right on.
A minute and a half is just too long, Chris.
It's too long. We need to cut that down to 60 seconds.
Once every minute, a new wrestler will enter the match, a new competitor. What this is going to mean is more fast-paced action, more people in the ring at once, more craziness, and a straight-up brawl for upwards of a half hour.
It's going to be fantastic.
And you're giving it away for free, Commissioner?
We're not just giving that away for free. We've got a lot in the tank. So, be watching for more announcements. We'll be announcing a few of the people who are in, of course, the battle, but we can't let you know everybody, obviously.
Not yet.
This is going to be a night that you're going to remember for a long time. And hey, stick around and see the best fireworks show in the state of Indiana afterwards. Now, of course, before we get to anything else, before we can even move on, we have to talk about our host, Harrison College.
Right on.
Harrison College has been so great throughout this entire process. We want to give back to them. It is a free show, but as we've talked about so many times, wrestling can be an agent for change, and that brings us to Harrison College, Chris.
And we will be raffling off several great items.
Yeah.
And that money is going to a particular scholarship fund for Harrison.
Yep, we are going to take that money and we are going to directly fund somebody advancing in life, getting their education, and making a place for themselves in society. And I think of all of the things that we've raised money for, this is the most near and dear to my heart because I am a broke college student. So I know exactly what everybody is talking about here. Speaking, though, of progressing...
This will not go to Casey Johnson.
No, it will not. I am not the student. There's not a little jar with my name on it. Or maybe there will be. Maybe it'll be ringside.
There won't be.
Well, as I was saying, speaking of progressing and moving along, Emerge keeps racking up amazing partners with us. And since the time we've been here last, we have had another fantastic sponsor join the Emerge family. If you are in Columbus, you know them as the CB. Let's take a look at Powerhouse Brewing.
Columbus Bar in downtown is your home for daily $3.50 Powerhouse beers and great food. Located at 322 4th Street, the CB is one of Indiana's oldest continually operating restaurants and bars, and Columbus, Indiana's first brewery since the Civil War. Powerhouse Brewing Company champions its friendly service and great prices. Call 812-375-8800. Check them out online at thecb.powerhousebrewingco.com.
Of course, thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to everybody who helps us bring this to you. We've got several sponsors in the fold. We thank all of you. And we need to start off with our Powerhouse Brewing Company Facebook Live match. And this is going to be one, it's a battle for the ages.
I would
It's
call
a
it
battle
the Battle
of
of
the
the
Austins.
Austins. Yeah, thank you very much. ATM Austin Tyler Morris versus the Anarchist Austin Fury.
Now, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a title match?
Oh, for God's sakes.
More importantly, is Apollo Star now the champion?
I mean, didn't Austin Fury lose the title? Didn't he lose the cardboard
He's
Outbreak
not a
championship?
champion.
I mean, he lost it in that match. But I mean, well,
Everybody's a champion if you believe hard enough.
I guess Apollo did give it back at the
He
end.
gave it back. He relinquished the title.
I mean, what's his deal? What is Austin Fury's deal? What is going on there?
So, if any of you have been watching our Facebook feed, did you guys see what happened between ATM and Austin Fury after the show?
I did.
So, Austin Fury is talking about how he's still the champion, rubbing his little cardboard championship, and ATM walks by, and Austin starts saying, "Hey, you're the person that I beat." Keep in mind, it's on our Facebook page. He did not beat ATM, although he got dropped on his head really, really hard during that match. And ATM wasn't having any of it, Lurch.
No, he wasn't having any of it. He knocked him out cold right there on camera. I mean, Austin Fury was down on the ground with his cardboard Outbreak championship, and it looks like the two are fighting each other.
Well, it's interesting because that is the first time this year, really, after Emergence Day, that ATM has walked out under his own power, that he's walked out the victor in a situation. He has slid a little bit this year since he was our most improved wrestler of last year. He's just been in a little bit of a slump.
And you notice what's missing by his side. Picture perfect Jordan Cage.
Oh my God!
Picture perfect Jordan Cage.
You realize
he's nothing without him.
The last match he won was against Jordan Cage. He made Jordan Cage say, "I quit." You remember that into the microphone?
Yeah, but that wasn't fair.
I don't think that it's Jordan Cage. Honestly, I think that when ATM lost in the second round of that Outbreak 8 tournament against Scotty Young, I think it messed with him. And when he took that butterfly effect, I think it might have scrambled his brains, kind of like his opponent here. He has not been the same ATM. He's not been the same ATM backstage. He's not been the same ATM. I mean, he comes out and smiles, but he leaves. And you could see, you were right ringside as he got frustrated. You could see the frustration at the last show, Lurch.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe that frustration will subside if he does win that Outbreak championship from Austin Fury. Maybe that'll make him happy.
Maybe so.
You know? Maybe that'll cheer him up.
Honestly, Chris, like if it makes him happy,
I guess.
Can you really knock it?
It's going to be a great match. I'll
It
just
is,
say that.
and you know, for as much as we joke about Austin Fury and how flat out insane he is, the kid has got talent.
Oh, without question.
And he's young, he's hungry. He would be willing to learn if he could remember anything. When his back is up against the wall, I think he pulls out his best stuff. And whether or not it was a cardboard championship that Apollo Star gave back to him, getting a sign of respect like that from a veteran like Apollo Star it's definitely something for Austin Fury. I just wish that he had enough of his wits about him to appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a sign of respect or more bemusement on the part of Apollo Star.
Well, that remains to be seen. Either way, a much-needed W for Apollo Star, but the anarchist Austin Fury, your reigning champion, coming into, I guess, this title defense. Just a weird situation. Just weird.
That's a good word for it.
As we coalesce into Emerge 33, Beat the Heat in the main card, another weird situation. Of course, as we know, Cole Radrick was run off the road along with Sean Kemp.
They were riding together.
Yeah, they were riding together, and some of us don't know who ran them off the road. But this created a bit of an opening for Guns and Aggression. Now, Jeremy Hadley found a replacement partner that was nothing to shake your head at in Air and Anarchy, but
Right.
Eventually it was just too much. Old Manser hit that lariat.
It was lights out.
And he went to get a light beer.
Yeah.
We'll get to him in a minute, but you've got to really, really not like being Air and Anarchy right now. But I mean, before we even get to this particular match, you've got to... You
gotta
feel
feel
for
bad.
the guy.
Yeah.
He is legitimately one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Without question.
But there's just something off about Air and Anarchy about the last year or so.
He took some abuse in that tag match. I mean, we saw those Guns and Aggression light his chest up. I mean, wow.
Yeah, Aaron, I will say Aaron is a fantastic competitor, and I'm sure at some point he's going to get another shot at Emerge, and he's going to make the most of it. However, as it sits, Guns and Aggression are your new tag team champions, Luke Lawson and Mance Warner. Of course, Mance Warner was very adamant that he thought Michael P.S. Hayes ran Cole Radrick and Sean Kemp off of the road.
I mean, that does make a lot of sense too. If you really look at the details, that does make a lot of sense. I think Old Manser's onto something.
Of course, they will be defending against, it's your old school versus your ultimate new school. A few months ago, we threw together, well, it was a very calculated decision, but some would say we threw together Jared Kripke and Justin Myers. And Chris, this is one of those pat you on the back moments. That pairing just worked, and now they're getting another shot.
Right, and you're right. On first glance, you're thinking, what and why? Mm-hmm. But the pairing has paid dividends.
Oh, isn't it so ironic? I just don't really care for these guys. They're like hipster wannabes or whatever.
They're not hipsters.
Something.
They will tell you to your face they're not hipsters.
Right, yeah. That's like the most hipster thing you can do. Yeah. I mean, these guys are just, I'm just
they
not
like
impressed.
Suspenders.
Who likes suspenders? I mean, what do they got, a phone cord that hooks up to their cell phone too? I mean,
that wouldn't surprise me. But either way, these guys, they like to have fun. They like to have a lot of fun. They like to let their personality show. And the Emerge fan base has proven a couple times now that they love this pairing. They love Justin Myers, and Jared Kripke got a huge reaction when he came around the first time. And they're nothing to shake your head at in the ring. Wrestling is filled with the type of people who you would think you couldn't take them seriously, and then they get in the ring and they can really knock your lights out. Jared Kripke, of course, was trained by Billy Rock. Justin Myers by somebody you might have heard of named Congo Kong.
Yeah, heard of him.
And these two guys have a lot of potential in this business, and their fun-loving ways aside, they know how to get it done in the ring.
But J to the second power? I mean, what kind of tag team name is that anyway?
It might be J squared.
Oh. J squared.
It's one of the two, probably. They're not really into being labeled.
Yeah, it's probably something different. It's probably something different. We're probably wrong,
Either way, I mean, that's the way it's written. Either way, though, whether or not you like any of the people participating in this match, what a match it's going to be. Like I was saying earlier, your old school versus your new school, your high-flying versus your ground and pound, your appealing to the crowd and high-flying maneuvers versus straight-up nastiness.
All I got to say is that Emerge front row that's already sold out might want to watch out because old Manser's going to take that lariat and knock the teeth out of J squared.
Well, that remains to be seen. Okay, I know we're not even supposed to talk about this. It's kind of an elephant in the room. Did something seem a little off about Guns and Aggression?
You're right. We shouldn't be talking about this. But yes, something seemed a bit off, particularly with the sharpshooter Luke Lawson, in my humble estimation.
I kind of feel like he's making it about himself.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't know. But we've seen the video and...
Well, they work incredibly well together.
Oh, yeah.
And they were trained together. They did everything from learning how to fall, roll drills, their first matches, everything together. And that's why they work so well. They were born, they were bred, they are Guns and Aggression. And some of those chops, it sounds like a gun going off. If you missed last show, I'm going to tell you again, if you have not seen these guys live, they alone are worth the price of admission, and we're only a match into this card.
Right on.
But let's move on to the second match, a match that you had the pleasure of making yourself. And this is a match with huge implications.
Absolutely. The Mastodon, J.D. Mariani versus Scotty Young, the winner gets a future Emerge Championship match.
And maybe or maybe not, this future Emerge Championship match could happen at a larger than average show we have happening on, say, July 3rd. Perhaps.
Oh, wow.
Scotty Young barged into your office. I kind of want to know, what was the point of JD being there? It kind of seemed like you were about to award him the title shot there for a second.
I'm not going to say one way or the other. It certainly looked that way on video. JD has been on a roll. He reminds me of, when Emerge first started, JD was
the man.
The man. He's the only two-time Emerge champion, and I believe he has it in him to become a three-time Emerge champion.
No way. J.D. Mariani does not need the title shot, Commish. That is owed to Scotty Young.
How is it owed to Scotty Young?
Scotty Young deserves the championship shot again. I mean, he almost had the win. He almost had the W. He almost walked away with that Emerge championship against Chris Caliber this past month. He's owed another shot at it, Commish. I mean, come on.
You make a good argument for Scotty Young. And that's why I put him in a match with J.D. Mariani to determine who is the better man. And whoever wins that match gets that title shot.
And this is your Flash, yet again, versus your raw power. And not only that, the veteran mind of J.D. Mariani, who's been doing this literally the entire millennium and knows his way around a #1 contenders match and a championship match to boot. That is going to be again, worth the price of admission alone, 2 matches into the show. And our third match that we're about to talk about is a match that we've already announced, a match that's already been getting fanfare, and a match that the Emerge fans have been clamoring to see, but a match that requires a little bit of explanation. We have an Outbreak Championship Scramble. 5 men. Brett Havoc defends his first title defense against Greatest Show on Earth, Mikey McFinnigan, Warfare Jeremy Hadley, and the original American Lennox Norris. And it's a weird situation that led to this particular match, and I'll let you explain it, Kamish.
Right. If you can remember correctly, Mikey McFinnigan he won the Outbreak 8 tournament, which granted him an Outbreak title opportunity. Due to some rescheduling issues, basically June 2nd is going to be his first title opportunity.
His first chance to get back to claim his title opportunity. Right. You know, ever since February, he's kind of been the one that got away.
Right.
And the Emerge fans have been asking every month, where's Mikey? Where's Mikey? June 2nd, it happens.
Plus, we've got the fact that Lennox Norris, the former Outbreak champion, has invoked his rematch clause against Brett Havoc. So, with 3 men already in the match, I decided why not add a former Outbreak champion in Warfare Jeremy Hadley and a perennial contender in the Greatest Show on Earth, Trevor Court.
And Jeremy Hadley is in an interesting situation as he just lost a championship match at the last show. And many would think, well, why doesn't he want his rematch? Jeremy Hadley is a very, done with one thing, on to the next goal type of person. He's oriented himself in that way. Mm-hmm. And he has set his sights on the big one, the one prize that has eluded him, the Emerge Championship. But he hasn't wrestled singles in quite a while. It's a completely different game. So as I understand it, or the way you explained it to me off air, you want to make sure that he's ready to go.
Right. And obviously, if you can win the Outbreak Championship, you are more than capable of, reaching up for the Emerge Championship.
And not only that, but it'll easily help keep the belt off of Lennox Norris. Kamish, won't it? I mean, this is unfair. This should be a one-on-one match between Brett Havoc and Lennox Norris. He just lost the belt. He just lost the Outbreak Championship. It should be one-on-one. Lennox should have a shot at getting it back. You shouldn't just put him in a 5-way scramble match. I mean, that's...
Well, he invoked his rematch clause.
It's just unfair. This is what I've been talking about. You gave Brett Havoc so many opportunities, and now you're not giving Lennox that one-on-one shot, the rematch.
Look, I'll agree with you. Brett Havoc has had numerous opportunities to become Outbreak champion. That's why I put him in this match. He needs to step up and go up against 4 of the top guys that Emerge has to offer.
And by the end of the entire thing, Lurch, Lennox Norris might have as close to a one-on-one match as he's going to get. Because just like, we've talked about so many times, there's an interesting wrinkle in this match that sets this championship scramble apart from anything else that's been done before.
Right. 5 men are going to start the match. Once 2 men are eliminated by pinfall or submission, it turns into a triple threat.
And of course, that triple threat is 1 fall to a finish. You're going to see 3 falls in this match, gradually chipping rock off the statue to see who is going to end up being the work of art at the end, so to speak. And all of this is not to mention, before Lurch got on his rant, the Greatest Show on Earth, Trevor Court.
Right.
Who is very, very believing that he deserves this opportunity. What is your thought process on putting that in there?
Lennox Norris deserves an opportunity. I know the guy doesn't like me, but I'm here to recognize talent and to give talent opportunity. Lennox Norris deserves a shot.
Lennox Norris does, and Trevor Court does as well. Trevor Court, the Greatest Show on Earth. I mean, he is just putting up wins all across the country right now. The Grand Piano from Indiana, Trevor Court. I mean, I got to give you credit at least for adding him into the match.
Well, as we move on from this particular match, another match that we had already had set up, Lurch, a match that, if you watch our previous Facebook Live match from the last show, a situation manifested itself. And first off, I want to give tremendous props to Kuro and to Braden Lee as they made their Emerge debuts, and it looked like it was going to be an awesome match, although Kuro went on this weird rant afterwards, and you'll have to catch the video later, but Jordan Cage interrupted it.
Oh, he didn't interrupt it. He added to it. This is the Facebook Live match. We're trying to get publicity. You got the new guys out there. Let's add Jordan Cage's face to the video. That's how you get ratings. That's how you get attention onto the product. I mean, come on.
He nearly broke the neck of a young man who's only had a couple matches.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't have been in the way. I mean, this is Emerge Wrestling.
Shouldn't have been in the way. Jordan Cage wasn't even booked on the show.
Look, Jordan Cage was out there to make a statement. He had a very clear point. He should be on every single Emerge Wrestling show, and he's picture perfect. And he took advantage of the opportunity. We had thousands of people watching at the time. It makes perfect sense to me.
Well, evening up the odds was one Mark Vandy, who quickly displaced of picture perfect Jordan Cage and sent Jordan Cage pretty much running.
Yeah, Jordan is an angry man. He's upset he didn't get another Emerge title opportunity. He's quite frankly angry that Mark Vandy dared to put his hands on him. Just the month before, he had an opportunity to take photos with the champ.
Yeah, he charged like $100, and eventually on like a 95% discount, he sold one unlucky fan one for $5. Do you even know who that was?
Unlucky fan? That was the best $5 I've ever spent. Are you kidding me? I've got that framed on my wall right now. What do you mean unlucky?
I bet I know where he has it, and I don't think it's on his wall. I think he's got it nailed to his ceiling, so it's the first thing he sees when he wakes up.
You're probably right, though.
How dare you?
Well, this match is happening, and I think, this is one of those matches that it was the first one announced, and we're only 4 matches into this show, and we've already got 4 potential matches of the year, and this is not counting the matches that we have up next, which I don't even know what one of them is yet. Either way, this is a match that I think when you look at it, maybe no stipulation, maybe no weapons involved, whatever. It's easy to look past, but this could be an instant classic. And not only that, there is, so to speak, the heat behind it. These two guys do not like each other. It's going to be one for the ages, I think.
Yeah, Vandy was on the cusp of being gone from Emerge. He was on that losing streak, and
year and a half long losing streak,
right.
to boot.
And he's gone from that to proving his worth.
Well, once you prove your worth, you've got to stay there. And Picture Perfect Jordan Cage is, for all of his antics, one of the very best Emerge has to offer. As we talk, though, about proving our worth, that brings us fantastically to match number 5 between 2 of the most talented women I have ever seen wrestle. That's right. I said women.
That's right. Charlie Cruel versus Rachel Bostick.
Now, Charlie Cruel is somebody who, the only way to describe her is the angry young woman syndrome. I asked her to tell me a little bit about herself, and she went off on this long rant about she's been hurt so many times, she can't trust anybody, and now she takes out all of her aggression on everybody else. She's a weird chick. That being said, she's young in the business, she's hungry, and she's coming to take all of these spots from the incumbent women. Now, the incumbent women around the Midwest area and really around the entire country, you can't make that list without Rachel Bostick.
Right, and we've said for years that Emerge draws interest from the best of the best in independent wrestling, and that includes the ladies as well. I mean, Dylan Bostick Rachel Bostick has competed in WWE, Ring of Honor, Shimmer, countless other promotions.
Yeah, and she has won everywhere that she has gone. And that's not to discount Charlie Cruel, who is going to be, I think, a sizable addition to the Emerge women's division. And to be candid, that is part of what we're trying to establish here. It seems like when we brought in the women's championship, you have two women coming in and feuding over it, and it's all title matches. What we want to do is create a division. We want to be the place for women's wrestling anywhere in the country, and that includes bringing in new talent, bringing in the best talent, and you're getting two of the best. This is another one of those matches that we could be talking about for a long, long while.
Right. Charlie Cruel, Rachel Bostick, either woman would be a worthy competitor to Lady Luck in the Emerge Women's Championship.
Well, I hope that Lady Luck is on their side, Chris. Match number 6, I have no idea what's happening right now. I understand it has something to do with... okay, so Red Rum attacks Custom Made and TJ Kemp. I think it was Monday or Tuesday of last week. I was sitting at my desk and I got a memo from you telling me, just as somebody within the company, not to let it out yet, but that Red Rum would be competing at Emerge 33. This includes Ricky Ruckus.
Yes.
What is this situation? And okay, I'll get to my next question in a minute, but what is the situation that led to this? Just to putting them in the ring.
Well, all four men have made themselves known and present, and quite frankly, a thorn in my side the last few shows. Ricky has laid down the challenge. He wants to be in the ring with his crew, so figured why not.
So, earlier today, I was walking to make some copies, and I could swear to you I saw somebody leaving your office.
You did. I had a I had a very, very productive meeting with the main attraction, Donnie Idol, and we had cameras rolling.
Oh, please cut to that video.
Come on in. Hey.
Chris, what's up, man?
Donnie Idol. Hey, man. I called you in here for a reason.
First off, let me just stop you right there, Chris. I have some things I need to say to you. I'm very sorry. I know my action as of late. I've just been hot-headed. I haven't been thinking clearly. I'm not sleeping. Nothing is right. You have to understand, I just want to get my hands on Ricky Ruckus. Now I know my actions, not acceptable. And I'm going to be a man, I apologize for that.
I appreciate that. I'm not happy with the way you or Ricky have been handling this, but I appreciate you being a man and apologizing.
And I understand where you're coming from with this. I've got to say, I know where you're coming from, and I know the match with Ricky's not going to happen anytime soon. I understand that, but I'm telling you right now, Saturday, June 9th in Connersville.
Hold up. Let's get a couple of things straight. You're right. I don't particularly like the idea of you going up against Ricky Ruckus. Not right now, anyway, with your neck injuries. And I definitely don't like the idea of you going into a ring against Ricky Ruckus alone, especially with his crew, Red Rum, running around. That said, I have spoken to the board of directors, and we agree that it's a risk, but if you're willing to take it and sign this hold harmless agreement, June 2nd, Emerge 33, I will give you Ricky Ruckus and Red Rum so long as you can find 3 other guys that will join you. And I need to know by 6 o'clock tonight.
I get Ricky Ruckus.
You get Ricky Ruckus.
And all 3 members of Red Rum.
If you find 3 guys who are willing to step up.
All I have to do is find 3 guys who are willing to step up.
By 6 o'clock tonight.
I've got 3 guys that I know right now that want their hands on him and Red Rum just as much as I do. No problem.
I would like, you need to consider this though. If you get hurt, you're on your own, dude. This Emerge is not going to be held it's not going to be held liable. Parkside Elementary is not going to be held liable. This is all on you. So if you want to wait a few months, I totally get it. But if you really want him June 2nd, there you go.
I don't even have to think about it, sir. First off, thank you. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Chris, you're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
I thought he wasn't returning until June 9th at World's Finest.
Well, now he's returning June 2nd at Emerge. He signed the hold harmless agreement.
What is he thinking?
And this will be an unsanctioned match, right?
Unsanctioned, 8-man tag.
So whatever happens in that ring, you can't control it. No repercussions.
None.
It's just between the men in the ring.
Absolutely.
Donnie Idol asked for this match in the middle of the ring with Ricky Ruckus and Red Rum.
Yes.
Brilliant. Look at that. I mean, this is what I've been saying for months. The genius, the masterminds behind Red Rum, I mean, wow. I mean, they are just playing Donnie Idol right now. Now they got him to agree to this match. That's beautiful.
Wait a second, though.
Mm-hmm.
You told him to find 3 guys.
I did.
Was that what you were checking your phone about just before we went on the air?
Yes. Donnie Idol will be facing Red Rum, and his partners will be the Midwest Mutt, Sean Kemp, Cole Radrick.
What?
And Too Cool,
Oh
TJ
my
Kemp.
gosh.
Wow.
What a team. So what you're telling me is that we have an unsanctioned, basically speaking, no rules match between the teams of, respectively, Alistair Wilde, Chris Morris, Billy Mattern, and Ricky Ruckus versus Donnie Idol, TJ Kemp, Sean Kemp, and Cole Radrick.
You got it right.
Wow. Saturday, June
Give me a
2nd. This is going to happen.
I thought you might like that.
Give me a second. Oh my God. You
And I had the
gotta
video-
tell me this stuff before we go on the air. I can't speak right now.
Well, I knew you'd see it with the video, and I had the cameraman there for the specific purpose that I wanted it made clear that this was something that Donnie Idol wanted, and he's going to get it.
We have got to find like a little maybe cage that we can put ourselves in at ringside. I don't think this match is going to be safe for us to be ringside.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, the unpredictable actions of Red Rum we've seen month after month. The lights go out. We don't know what's going to happen next. I mean,
I think maybe I have like a drum shield.
Well, now we know what's going to happen come June 2nd.
Yeah. This is easily one of the biggest announcements I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of, and we've had some big announcements this week. Wow. So yeah,
Pull yourself together, man.
yeah. No, there it is. Red Rum, Ricky Ruckus, Alistair Wilde, Chris Morris, Billy Mattern versus the main attraction, Donnie Idol, making his return to the ring with Too Cool TJ Kemp, the Midwest Mutt Sean Kemp, and Cole Radrick. And, well, I guess we would have to consider this show a double main event now.
Oh, without question. Easily.
Well, I guess let's get on to our aforementioned main event for the Emerge Championship, as Chris Caliber is going to defend his title versus, well, if you have been around the central Indiana wrestling scene for any length of time, you know this name.
Dylan Bostick.
Now, this is a really interesting moment in time, I know for both of us. We were there at the very genesis of Dylan Bostick's career. I can still remember the second time I ever saw him wrestle. He was trying to vault into the ring and fell, and he got laughed at. And it lit a fire under him, and he quickly became one of the best wrestlers in the Midwest, in the world. Dylan Bostick and I used to talk on MySpace.
Whoa.
MySpace. 8 years ago, yes, this still is somewhere on YouTube. I made an entrance video for Dylan Bostick when I was just starting to do video editing at the age of like 12 or 13 years old. And so when I heard that this was going to be it, when I heard, I excitedly contacted Dylan. It's been a few years since I've gotten to talk to him, and I was promptly disappointed. He told me, number one, that he did not remember me. Number two, that he never did like Columbus. He always liked wrestling in Shelbyville more than Columbus. He hated wrestling in Columbus, and the only reason he said that he would ever step foot back into Columbus was to take the Emerge Championship, because it was the only good thing about Columbus, and he would take it and represent it in Shelbyville, in California.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about a world-renowned traveler. We're talking about somebody who has wrestled all across the country. Of course he's not that impressed with Columbus, Indiana. I mean, if you go across the country, if you go anywhere else too, you would see the same thing that we all see. I mean, hello?
We're just going to get mobbed.
But please, if I was gonna get mobbed to be in the town of Shelbyville, they love me there.
I'm pretty sure there are clips on YouTube that say otherwise.
Please.
But this match is so iconic for me because it represents, I think, the exact kind of challenge that Chris Caliber enjoys.
Right.
That being young up-and-comers, and of course a young up-and-comer, as we remember him, that has turned into a world-traveled veteran at the top of his game. Two guys that got their start in this area, really trying to see who's the best in the Midwest, who's the best in the country, who's the best in the world. And they're going to leave everything that they had out there. And you can see when Chris Caliber gets these kind of opponents, that's exactly what he does. The match that he had against Scotty Young, they spent a while feeling each other out. One slip, one mistake, well, that's exactly what led to Scotty Young losing that particular match.
Now, let's not give Chris Caliber all that credit. You said it's Chris Caliber draw. It's that Emerge Championship around Caliber's waist. Let's not forget about that. And Dylan Bostick is ready to put that around his waist and take it to California.
Well, a lot of times I would agree with that, but it says something about the man who's wearing the championship that here in like just a couple of months, Chris Caliber is coming up on the record for how long somebody's actually held the Emerge Championship, which, by the way, was held by the guy he took it from, Zodiac. Chris Caliber is one of our longest tenured champions and one of our longest tenured employees, athletes at Emerge. He's been here since day one. He's at the top of his game. As a matter of fact, I mean, Chris, in my humble opinion, I think he's better than he's ever been right now.
I would be hard-pressed to argue that.
And he is going to defend his championship in our main event. Well, I guess one of our main events.
One of our main events, yeah.
Chris Caliber defending the Emerge Championship against Dylan Bostick. That caps off our show. And as I sit here and I look at the whole card, wow.
Yeah, it's jam-packed top to bottom from the Powerhouse Brewing Facebook Live match all the way to our main events.
Yeah, so let's talk about that now. Powerhouse Brewing Facebook Live match, Battle of the Austins, ATM, Austin Tyler Morris versus the Anarchist, Austin Fury, debatably for the Cardboard Outbreak Championship. As we get into the main show, Guns and Aggression defend their tag team championships against J squared to the second power, Jared Kripke and Justin Myers. Match number 2, Mastodon, the Mastodon, JD Mariani against Scotty Young. The winner gets an Emerge Championship opportunity, perhaps on July 3rd.
Perhaps.
Match number 3, Outbreak Championship Scramble. Beautiful Brett Havoc defends against the greatest show on earth, Trevor Court and Mikey McFinnigan. Warfare Jeremy Hadley, the original American Lennox Norris. 2 men will be eliminated from this match before it turns into a sudden death triple threat. Match number 4, Picture Perfect Jordan Cage against Mark Van D. Charlie Cruel versus one Rachel Bostick. Match number 6, Red Rum, Ricky Ruckus, Alistair Wilde, Chris Morris and Billy Mattern versus Cole Radrick, the Midwest Mutt Sean Kemp, Too Cool TJ Kemp, and the returning main attraction Donnie Idol in a completely unsanctioned match. And in our main event, the Emerge Championship, Chris Caliber defends against Dylan Bostick. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your card. And this is one of those cards that is so special, it comes around just once a month at Emerge Wrestling.
There you go.
Man, what more can we even say?
I think we've got it all.
I've got absolutely nothing, Lurch. With Lurch is speechless, you know it's time to end the show. My name is Casey Johnson, Chris Lowe, A.W. Lurch, and we will see you. If you've got a brain in your skull, we will see you on June 2nd